these booklets in your packet. It's a great reference to understanding the Common Career Technical Core. So, review it at your convenience. Aligning programs of study. As we prepare career technical education students for college and career readiness, it is imperative that we align programs of study. And in doing so, it is important to note the purpose of these standards. The goal is to improve educational best practices that will increase student academic success and support the efforts to improve college and career readiness for students. They ensure that all students are ready for success after high school and provide consistent guidelines for what every student should know and be able to do in math and English language arts through 12th grade. They are aligned with college and career expectations. They are clear, understandable, consistent, and common to all. Traditionally, many high schools emphasize getting students accepted to college by focusing on admissions criteria, such as courses taken and grades received. However, students need to be able to formulate problems, interpret solutions, conduct research, communicate with accuracy and precision, and most importantly, own their learned skills that they've obtained. Thereby, we recognize the need to articulate a common understanding of college and career readiness as it relates to the standards. I know the subliminal message wants everybody to drink milk or make you feel like you want to drink milk. But if you've got purpose, this is based on aligning secondary and post-secondary career technical ed and standards as in the interest of collaborating to align curriculum and performance expectations to calibrate programs of study so that they center around the knowledge and skills defined in the required standards. And then in facilitating your district and institution's funding, the goal is to create articulated, seamless curriculum, instruction, and assessment that connect high school to college and is aligned to the standards that bring students in 12th grade to a close and at college and career ready level. So we're met with some challenges in aligning secondary with post-secondary. In part, these are challenges that need to be met in creating successful programs of study that are in alignment, that create and maintain rigor, and indicate successful outcomes and meet the student expectations for continued program of study and college course completion. With this, we look at alignment, maintaining rigor, indicating successful outcomes, and meeting student expectations for continued programs of study and college completion. Highlighting concerns with secondary awareness, objectively we review secondary to post-secondary alignment. In other words, are students moving from novice learners to emerging complex content knowledge? In highlighting concerns with post-secondary awareness, objectively we review the post-secondary to secondary alignment. And we ask ourselves, when are we meeting with secondary partners? Have we formed an advisory council that shows the strength of both? At the end of every school year, are we meeting to provide feedback? Do we meet in the summer in preparation? Or are we meeting at the beginning of the school year when curriculum and schedules have already been determined? Are we in the middle of the school year with our meetings with little time to access student and faculty needs? And are the instructors prepared to prepare the students? Who is meeting with secondary partners? Who is meeting with post-secondary partners? Do you sit on each other's school advisory councils? Have you reviewed student interest inventories to identify the programs students want to study? And are they compared to what's the industry standard for what's in demand? High wage, high skill. Have you researched the industry needs in your city, your state, your national area? Think globally. How are you identifying the need for a program of study? Students' interests, high skill, high wage, high demand, occupations that will lead to self-sufficiency? Are your programs of study sequencing courses that articulate and will lead to a successful transition into college courses? Overall, are we meeting the purpose? What have you identified as the gaps and overlaps in content coverage? Do you build rigor into your career technical ed courses? Are the same assessments that are administered in the college classroom the same as the online environment? That's something to be compared, since we are kind of exploding at the seams with our online education. Are the performance indicators meeting the targets for successful learning? And what are you identifying as student weaknesses and the overall performance indicators, and what is your plan to improve? Sharing career technical ed course college curriculum, such as textbooks, notes, assessments, and syllabi for each college course, so that secondary instructors can prepare their coursework in alignment to the expectations of the college level courses. The bottom line again is, are faculty prepared to prepare career technical students for continued learning? I want to close with our thoughts on strategic alignment. Overall, we're looking at 3 principles: standards, planning and preparation, and standardizing and equalizing. In standards, we review and compare standards and align your standards to meet course proficiency. In planning and preparation, remember, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Plan and prepare curriculum, assessments, and student performance expectations with your partner schools. Are they compatible? Also form your advisory councils and include your industry leaders, administrators, faculty, students, and parents where necessary. And meet regularly. According to our policies, we'd like to see you meeting at least twice a year, but there's nothing to say you can't meet more than that, whatever it takes to make your programs of study successful. And then in standardization and equalization, we want to look at standardizing our work, equalizing it across the board so that it's seamless and it transitions easy, and inventorying student interests. And that finishes that portion of bridging the gap between secondary and post-secondary. So rather than introducing myself again, I'm going to just kind of like say hello, and I'm going to head right into my next presentation, which is, I'll be talking about the application budget. And this is your Appendix G in your application. The budget is what is going to put everything into place. So while Louise emphasized a well-written application, that application has to be thorough, has to be explicit, has to be comprehensive, and that budget needs to be substantial so that you can implement and integrate that whole plan of study that's written out in your application. Your grant should match your current year students. That's one thing I want to really emphasize. And in accordance to this, one of the things that we look at from the PED is when and where are you spending your monies? Your grant is allocated to you. Are you waiting till the end of the academic year to make your purchases? Are you purchasing throughout the year so that we know you're implementing and integrating your programs